Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome to a State of the Union here because I know it's been too long since I've done one and silence has remained a glaring cloud over our heads for too long and it's time to break the silence. So let's talk a little bit about what's been going on, the status of my life, the status of the computer, about the channel, all that good stuff. But I gotta say, for whatever reason, today has turned out just not to be my day. This is the second time I've had to record this video log because for whatever reason the first time I did it the audio wasn't working, and that's part of the reason why I haven't been doing so many videos. There's actually two components, and it's funny, everything comes in twos today, I guess, because this video log was so nice. Had to do it twice. But basically the computer that I'm using right now, it's on its last legs. It's dying. It's a source of endless frustration in my life, and I cannot wait to get rid of it and move on to a new computer. More on that later in the video log, but that's the first reason why I haven't been recording any videos. I've barely been playing any video games whatsoever because this computer has just made the process so torturous. Basically, it can do this, kind of, and it can still record the podcast, kind of, but not much else. So the second reason I've haven't been doing any videos is because, as some of you may know, I've taken on a new career path. Not going to say too much about exactly what it is I do. All that I'll say is that I'm now a uniformed lawman, and it's pretty exciting. I'm very happy with the new career path I'm taking. In fact, I think it might be the best career I've ever had, and it's finally leading me down a path that I want to be, and I feel good on. And it's a great feeling because the last 18 months have just been completely lacking whatsoever in stability. I haven't felt like I've been moving forward, but now I do, and that's great. And I can see my tongue is red. I just ate a red freezy, so that's probably the reason. But anyway, in any case, this new job I've taken on, I spend about a week on shift on my regular duties, and then after that, basically, so I heard some shuffling going on over in the background. It's probably the cats doing something crazy. But anyway, so this new job I've taken on has, after my first week, I got shipped off to the training academy. And this training academy has been one of the hardest and most difficult experiences of my life. It's completely unlike anything I've ever done. But for those of you who have military training, you probably know what it's like, because it's very military-esque. But anyway, at this training academy, they have two components. They have a physical component, and they have an academic component. The academic component, for me, has been pretty easy. I've never really struggled with tests, studying, doing research, anything like that, but I still study hard and take them seriously because the marks you get on this test affect your placement when you go back to your regular duties, but they also affect your pay and your promotion opportunities. So they're a big deal, and I want to make sure I'm setting myself up right early. So spending a lot of time studying, but the part that's been very difficult for me has been the physical component aspect. I wasn't exactly in the best shape going into this training course, but I've gotten a lot better. My standard of fitness has increased significantly, but for the first probably 5 weeks, our physical training component was, for me, pure abject torture. And that's really the part. I'm happy to be at the point I am now, because getting over that hump where you're out of shape and then getting into shape takes a lot of work, and it's not an easy thing to do. But I'm happy that I'm at least, maybe I'm not there, but I'm definitely getting there. I feel stronger, I feel faster, I feel smarter even, like my head's clearer, decisions come faster. So it's all good. It's a lot of pain, but there's a lot of gain there. So I'm happy for that gain. We've also been doing unarmed training, and we finished our unarmed training component. We've been doing arm training, learning all kinds of different things. We did fire training the other day. That was cool. We did emergency vehicle operation training. That was awesome. So I'm learning a lot, And there are some days definitely where I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe I got paid to do that. But then there are other days where I come out and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing to my body? But it's an experience, that's for sure. And I'm happy about the experience. But when you're in it, it just consumes your entire life because there's so many aspects of your life that you have to prepare for. And so many aspects when you come home that you have to get together in order to be ready for the next day. So there's a lot going on. And honestly, I've had to neglect pretty much every aspect of my life during this training course. I've had to neglect my friends, my family, the podcast, and of course the channel. They've all had to take a beating. But on the plus side, training's almost over. June 7th, I'm out. I'm back to my regular duties and to a more manageable schedule. Plus, when I come home after work, I can really come home after work and focus on other things. Whereas right now in training, when I come home after training, it's like, okay, we're getting ready for the next day. What do I got to do to get ready? So that's where I am right now. A lot of great things have happened to me in training, but the worst thing that's happened to me, and this is an interesting story to tell, and I'm sure most of you guys are eager to hear it because it's something that I guess doesn't happen to everybody. But anyway, the worst thing that's happened to me during training has been my pepper spray experience. All of us have to get pepper sprayed as part of our training, and let me tell you, it was the most painful thing I've ever had to endure. So it's really funny because they don't give you like any warning. Well, they give you some, but not very much before you get pepper sprayed. So they came and told us at the end of the day, before we got sprayed, that we were getting sprayed. In fact, they had lied to us earlier in the day and said, no, don't worry, you're not getting sprayed tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. Then they come at the end of the day and like, guess what? You're getting sprayed tomorrow. So needless to say, as soon as I learned that, I was in like full on panic mode. I came home and I was like freaking out. I was super nervous. Needless to say, that wasn't a nice night. And then I go to the academy the next day. We have a lecture, and I don't remember anything that happened in that lecture. I was just thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be pepper sprayed in 4 hours. Oh my God, I'm going to be pepper sprayed in 2 hours, and so on and so forth. But eventually the time came. So after lunch, the instructors all come up, and they look at us, and they tell us, okay, this is what's going to happen. And then they sketch out what the obstacle course is going to look like, because it's not enough just to get pepper sprayed. You've got to run an obstacle course once you're done. So they show us what that looks like, and then they are like, we're going to give you guys, recruits, 5 minutes to get ready, and then we'll be back. Sorry, I heard another cat meow. I don't know what they're up to, but they're probably causing trouble somewhere. But anyway, so they give us 5 minutes. Instructors come back, look around the room, and they're like, you. And then everyone they point to gets up and leaves. And we don't see them until pretty much it's our turn. So at 10 minutes, we're all sitting there wondering what's going on. And then the instructors come back, look around the room, and they're like, you. And I was in that wave. So I was in the second wave. All told, there was a total of 6 waves of people. And I was happy to be near the top rather than towards the bottom. And I'll explain a little bit why later. But basically, we all get together, all those who he's chosen. We all walk, and we go down this long hallway. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Jasmine just came home. In any case, back to the story. So they take us down to this big long hallway and make us stand there. And I felt like I was in that scene from The Gladiator, like just before they're all about to go out into the arena, and they're sitting in that hallway and they're all freaking out about what's about to happen next. That was very much the atmosphere in the room. So anyway, the instructor just tells us to wait there, and then he'll take us one at a time as we're ready. And while we're waiting there, we can see the people who are done come by us as they're finishing the obstacle course. And so you're just sitting there and you just see these people who are just in complete agony. Their faces are red, there's tears, snot, everything you can imagine. And they're just going by you one at a time, and that psychs you out even more. And that's why I was happy to be one of the first ones, because I don't know how long I could have just sat there and watched people run by me in complete agony without psyching myself out completely. So anyway, eventually it's my turn. So the instructor comes out, looks at me, and he's like, "You're up." So I'm like, "Okay," because my heart starts beating even faster. So he takes me outside, and he says, "Okay, I need you to close your eyes, and I'm going to pepper spray you 3 times across the face when you tell me you're ready." So I say, "Okay." I close my eyes, and I take 5 deep breaths. I remember counting them. I counted in my head. So I took 5 and said, "Okay, do it." So he sprays me, and at first I'm like, "You know what? This isn't so bad. This isn't the worst thing in the world." Sorry, this piece of hair is driving me nuts. It's a rogue hair. But anyway, so he pepper sprays me, and he's like, and I'm like, "Oh, this isn't so bad. This isn't the worst thing in the world." So he leads me into the obstacle course, and then the instructors say, "Blink." And as soon as that happened, that's when it was like, oh my God. That's when the pain arrived. It was like 1,000 tiny paper cuts inside my eyeballs, and I like keel over, because I with the force and impact of the pain. And the instructor's like, "Come on, you gotta get ready, you gotta go. The obstacle course is live." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I compose myself, and I run the course. I don't remember everything that was in the course. I remember having to do some attacks. I remember having to handcuff a guy. I remember doing some CPR. But anyway, it takes about 5 minutes, and then you're done. And I was done, and the instructors are all there. They're like, "Yeah, you did it, you did it." And then you go through, and your partner's waiting there, because everybody has a partner who's supposed to help them decontaminate. So then he's there. He's like, "Come on, man, we're going to the bathroom. We're going to decontaminate. You got this." He takes me, and then I go by everybody else in the hallway, and they're all clapping. They're like, "Yeah, you did it." And then you go into the bathroom with everyone else who's decontaminating, and that's when the pain really like started to intensify, because besides that first impact, as I was running the obstacle course, I started to notice the pain less and less as my adrenaline went up and up. But once the physical activity was over, your adrenaline starts to move it, exit the body or whatever. It starts to go down. Your normal body functions start to come back, and that's when the pain just started throbbing. And I started panicking, because I'm pretty sure my brain thought that something serious was happening, like I was in serious danger. Because, most of us, I think, aren't used to having pain in our eyes. And our eyes are pretty important for our everyday function. So having that intense pain in your eyes, not being able to see, having difficulty breathing because of the spray, all of it comes together. And it's definitely very nerve-wracking. And I could barely feel the water or anything. I just felt searing hot pain. But they have these hoses, and I start spraying my face down, and the pain starts going away a little bit, but it starts throbbing. It like comes in waves. So after about 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to recollect myself. And then all of a sudden, wham! All the pain comes back, and it's like this sudden punch to the gut, and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? And after about 30 minutes of like spraying myself, and I didn't care, like I was trying to spray my face, but I was getting it everywhere. My pants were soaked, my shirt was soaked, my shoes were soaked, but everybody around me is doing the same thing. There's water everywhere. Nobody cares. But after about 30 minutes, I finally felt good enough to finish the decontamination process. And you actually decontaminate from pepper spray by going outside. It's the cool air that decontaminates you. It's not the actual water itself. The water just helps alleviate the symptoms. So I go outside, and it sucks for about the first 15 minutes, because it feels like you've got the world's worst sunburn. But after a good 15 minutes being exposed to the air and the cool breeze, the pain started to subside, and I started to reach my normal levels. And after about 2 hours of the pepper spray, the pain is gone completely. There are some side effects that lasted up to 24 hours. And for me, it lasted around that long. For some people, it lasted longer. Some people didn't last as long. But there's side effects like you're very sensitive to light. Sometimes you'll feel the particles reactivate. For example, during a shower, I could feel the particles reactivating, so you get a nice little mini dose of it. But all in all, it was even though it was a miserable experience to go through, like I said, the worst pain I've ever had in my life. I'm happy that I've gone through it because now that's the benchmark I measure everything against. It's like, is this thing I'm about to go against worse than being pepper sprayed? Nope. Okay, I can handle it. So in that sense, I'm happy for the life experience. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about the academy. It's a very time-consuming process, but I'm graduating soon, and I'll be happy to hold my head high on graduation, and be confident and enjoy this accomplishment that I've managed to achieve. And honestly, I can't wait for that moment. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on with this with the new computer. So I said my deadline to get a new computer was May 24th, and unfortunately, it's not here yet. Basically, uh, it's not that I don't have the funds, but I went into this computer shop. It's a local computer shop, and I'm about to build out. I'm ready to buy my new computer. I build it out, and then the person who sorry. Anyway, the person who built it out is like, you know what? You don't want to finish this computer right now because the new NVIDIA graphics card is coming out, the 1080 graphics card, and apparently it's supposed to be a monumental leap forward. So I was like, okay, well, when does it come out? And he's like, well, May 27th. I'm like, well, I really wanted this computer by May 24th. And the guy's like, well, it's really worth it to wait for this card. By all measures, it's going to be a substantial leap forward. So just relax, wait for the card, everything will be okay. It doesn't make any sense for you to build this computer and then a week later for it to be obsolete. So I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's put the new 1080 in. I went home, I did some research, and I got really excited for this new graphics card because not only is it the latest and greatest, it's supposed to be like I think the highest leap forward between generations that NVIDIA's ever had. It's supposed to be VR ready. It's supposed to be able to do 4K for most games. I don't expect it to do it for all games. So I did buy a 4K monitor along with the computer. So basically this computer is going to be top notch. It's got the latest generation i7 processor, solid state drive, and of course the crowning jewel is this 1080 graphics card. So all in all, it's going to be about 4 times more powerful than the computer I have currently, and I'm very excited to get rid of this thing and get this new computer. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to even have it by May 27th because I went in there for a follow-up, and they didn't put me on the pre-order list for one, which was very frustrating. So I had to pre-order again, and now I'm number 8 on the list. I was hoping to be number 1, but now I'm number 8. And then they're like, yeah, we don't know how many we're going to get. And even if we're going to get these cards on May 27th, and if we do, you might not make it. So I was very frustrated. It was not a positive interaction for either of us. But ultimately, I decided, you know what, I'm going to put the pre-order and hope for May 27th that I'm going to actually have what I need to have. But if I don't, I decided I'm going to wait until graduation, which is June 7th. If I still don't have the card, at that point, I'm going to tell these guys I'm going to order the parts myself and build it myself and go from there. So, unfortunately, I wish I had better news. Basically, I'm waiting on the new gear before I start recording again. I'm going to finish the XCOM Let's Play in glorious 420. Well, it's not 420. Glorious 4K. But so anyway, I was thinking 440 because that's the 1440. It's the resolution down from 4K. So if I can't finish it if this graphics card for whatever reason isn't powerful enough to finish it in 4K, at least we'll finish it in 440 and it'll still be awesome. And we'll be able to bring the Warhammer Let's Play in all its glory if I get it on the 27th. And if not, what my plan is to reformat this computer over the weekend because the 27th is a Friday. So I'm going to reformat this computer if I'm not able to get the card. And then hopefully the process of cleaning it out will give me enough juice to at least start the Let's Play so I can have something going on in the interim before I get my new computer. But yeah, like I said, it sucks that I don't know if I'm going to have it by the 27th, and it sucks that I don't have it now because I really want it now. But there's not a lot I feel like I can do. If anyone has any suggestions, definitely let me know. But until that time, I think that's going to be pretty much it for me. So yes, the Warhammer, I really wanted to get the Total War Warhammer Let's Play underway. It's going to have to be delayed until either I reformat this computer or get my new one. And of course, I'll keep you posted on what's going on. If you're missing the Let's Plays, you can still always check out my podcast at npupodcast.com. We're still going strong on the podcast. I have had difficulties releasing on time, given the my manic schedule that I have right now, but it has still been, it still is being released. So if you're missing any content here, there's still lots of content over there. We're going to be on our 16th episode. Lots of interesting stuff. If you're new to the podcast and just checking it out for the first time, I recommend you go and download episode 10, which is my top 10 armies of all time. And that was probably, that's my favorite episode that I've done so far, and the one I always recommend people first check out when they're checking out the podcast. So that's it for me, and until next time, this has been Destylator, signing off for now, and you guys take care.